November 2024, and the data files is obviously found under the naked drive. Hopefully you have that. Okay, so you have the question paper in front of you. Like I already said, we are doing the external of November 2024, and I'm going to start with the word. So I'm going to skip over into the word question, which is found on page, it starts on page 11. Okay, so you've got it there. I'm not going to also share that on my screen. So please mind the marks and mind also the amount of time they give you. They give you 35 minutes. So use that as a guidance of how fast you have to work. All right, retrieve the file saved as CV from the computer practice. So this is the one that I are looking for. You're going to open it up and you're going to enable your editing. Okay, then the second question says that you need to save the file as Q6CV. So by now you all know how to do that. You're going to go to File, Save As. You're going to browse. And remember, if you are saving in the exam, make sure that the folder that you're saving in is the correct folder. So that's very important. So, and then you must give it the name. Okay. Q6. And it's going to be CV, all capital letters, and you're going to say save. Make sure that the name now appears there, that you have renamed it correctly. Apply the following changes and also those indicated pages 12 to 13 and make all the changes according to the proofreading signs. Now, let's break that into little chunks for us. First of all, they're talking about the changes. That goes for all the 6.4 all the way to 6.15. That's the one part of the question. The second part of the question is asking that you engage with whatever is given to you on the proofreading, editing, and that's found on page 12 and page 13. Now, I've already told you, you need to go and make sure you have a method that works for you. Whether you start now going on 6.10, 11, 12, and you tick that off, or you directly go into editing, that is up to you. Okay, but as long as you tick off what you already do. The proofreading signs are talking about those things that looks like a upside down H, I call it the witch's hat, all of those things that's meant to say you need to insert the paragraph, etc. Okay, so let's go to 6.4. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to do the 6.4 and then I'm going to go over into the next page. As a header, key in the question number, computer station number in brackets, left aligned, and your examination number right aligned. Okay, so you all know how to go into the header. You can double click. I'm sure you don't struggle to do this anymore. But please read carefully. They are asking for your question number and your computer number to be left aligned. Now, we know that our computers print out the watermark, but because it's an external examination, please rather be safe than sorry. So you're going to put in, remember, it's capital letters. So you must also use capital letters. You're going to say question 6, and then you are going to say whatever you are seated at. The brackets, if you don't know where the bracket is, you have to push shift and the number 9, you put in, I'm going to say C1. You know how to check where you're seated, and that needs to be left aligned. Then how do you go all the way to the right alignment? You press once, twice, and then that is going to be your examination number, which is in essence actually your ID number. Please don't put in the words ID number. You're going to put 95 what. Okay. Then you press escape. You get out of the header. Let's go to 6.5. Change the font for the entire document. Now, even if they don't say include header, footer, endnote, footnote, whatever, you must know that that must be included. Okay. So I will go into my header first and say Control A, go to home, choose that Tahoma. Okay, THO, Tahoma. and it must also be in 11. Okay, so you make that 11. Then you go to the rest of the document. You press Control A, you say Tahoma 11, and that's it. Okay, so 6.4 and 6.5 is done now. We're not working with footer and endnotes and stuff like that in N4, so ignore. 6.6, change the margins of the entire document. Now, you can either, for safety reasons, just make sure that it is Control A, or you can just go into the layout and margins, because it will already just set out the whole thing if you do it like that. And it must be 1.7. Now, if they say entire document, it means up, down, left, right, bottom, front, whatever, all around. Ne? Now, you can see that that's already done for you, so you can just choose the narrow. But if it's not a default setting that you can see there, you must go to the custom margins and you must set it accordingly. All right. Remember, you don't have to put in the centimeter. I see some of you go like this and then you're very careful. You waste time. Delete the whole thing and just say 1.27 and say, okay. It's already calibrated in centimeters, so you don't have to type in the centimeter. Yes? Okay. Let's go to number 6.7. Insert a page break before the information in the document. This is the cover page of the curriculum vitae. Okay, so if you don't know, if you don't understand where exactly that should go to, I think they also give you the indication. I just want to make sure they don't give you the indication on there. I don't see it, so let's just see what they are saying. So they are asking for to insert the page break before the information in the document. Before the information. So this is basically, yeah, okay? So you need to put in a insert break page. That is what you need to do, okay? Remember, you switch on your paragraph marker so that you can see where those things are at. And then they are asking for you to key in the following text on the cover page in uppercase. So basically, they want it here. They want it to say here. Remember to activate your caps lock, curriculum vitae. Okay, now a lot of you ask me what about what's happening there in that. Let's quickly revise. Now, if I have a line, and I'm going to show it as it is on the question paper. The question paper looks like this. It's got 3 lines and then like this. Okay, can you all see that on the question paper? Okay, now let's quickly just revise. All right. What actually is meant by that is, if you look at my board, okay. All right, thank you. It's good, thank you, sir.
No problem.
I don't know yet. Maybe.
That's what you do.
What? Yeah. Really, sir? Then trouble. There's trouble. Okay, so you can see this to. No, sir. No. Okay, you can see the lines are indicating. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can press the enter 1, 2, 3. Can you count them with me? There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. There's 3 lines. But I saw with the test and the practical, it's better to see how many spaces do you see there? Do you also agree with me that this is a space here? Okay, there's 1 space. If you had to write with a pen, how many spaces, not lines? There's 2. Can you see that? If you take your fingers like this, how many spaces is in between my fingers? 2. So there's 2 enters. Are you with me? So I think maybe it's better for you to, otherwise you must count the 3rd one there, or you must say, so that the stripes, the lines, or the enters, 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. But I think for you, it's a little bit better to see the spaces as 1 and 2. Are you with me? Okay, so you're going to start then, yeah. This is going to be your next line then. Okay, so that's going to be 2. And then that's going to be your next one. So then you're going to say off. And again, can you see there's going to be 1, 2. And then in the third line, you're going to say Andile Dlamini. Okay, are you with me? Then they are asking you to center the key, only the key in text, vertically and horizontally, only the cover page. Okay, so they're not talking about these two. They're only talking about this. Okay, they want it to be horizontally. Now, how do you center a page vertically? Okay, you're going to go into layout. You're going to go into the size. You're going to say more paper sizes. And then by layout, you are going to choose the vertical alignment into center. And you're going to not say the whole document. You're just going to say the selected text. Okay, because you don't want it in the other pages. Are you with me? Okay, so let's quickly see how that's going to look. Okay, I don't know why there is now another one. Okay, it must look like this. Okay, this bothers me a bit. Maybe later on they're going to put something different on it. But okay, let me quickly just tell you again. So you're going to select those things that needs to be in the center. You are going to horizontally center it. And you are going to go to layout, size, more paper sizes, layout, and you're going to say center by the vertical alignment. And then you're just going to say here, selected text. Okay. And you're going to say, okay. Okay, let me just delete these lines so that it's not going to bother us. Okay, let's go into the next one. Insert a page border on the cover page only. Use the following line style. Okay, so how do we find page border? It's under design. Okay, we're going to go to page borders and we are going to first select the style. Now you will see it is a thick line in the middle and 2 on the outside. They do not specify the width. In other words, you're going to leave it there. But if they maybe ask for a 4-point or something else, you had to choose that there. Are you with me? But for now, you leave it as is. Can you see you can't say apply to the whole document because the question only asks for the first page only. Can you see that? So you must select that and you're going to say, okay. Can you see? All right. So that's important. Then they're asking you to review the document to correct all spelling errors, excluding names, surnames. Okay. So those things we are going to ignore because it is a street name. Okay, they're not talking about that. So what I will do is if I were you, I would go to review. I would go to spelling and grammar. And then I'm going to go through everything. Now, they didn't say street. Street shouldn't be excluded. Do you agree with me? So you are going to say change. Then Soweto is also not a street. It's not a town. Well, it is actually a town. So there's town name. So you must exclude it. So you're going to say ignore. That you're going to change. National, you're going to change. And then you're done. Can you see how you're going to work with that? So you're going to go to review, spelling and grammar, and you're going to go either into change or ignore. Okay. So you must go slowly with that. Then insert a line space as indicated on page 13. Now let's go to page 13 to see what they are talking about. They are saying that there must be a line space. Okay. That we will do maybe because there's lots of line spaces here. If you look at the address, the curriculum vitae of Andile Dlamini, it kind of looks to me that this must actually still be on this page. If I now look at how it's being, if I look at your, it looks like it must look like this. Do you agree with me? Okay, then there must be one space in between. That is only one space. So you can now go through everything to ensure there's only, this was bad. Look, they want you to put in a space in between each of these. You see that? So this must have a space, this must have a space. Look at those spaces. Okay? So there's a lot of spaces to be put in. Qualification obtained must also have a space at the top and at the bottom of it. Year completed must also have a space. Latest must also have a space. So, and then, yeah, the other things we will do later on with the bullets. Okay, so there's a lot of spaces that you had to put in. Must say this is kind of a weird one. I haven't seen it like this before, but we have to be prepared for everything. Okay. 6.13 is saying that you need to change all the dashed underlined headings to italics and apply any outer shadow text effects to each heading. So there's a lot of stuff they are asking in one question. So everything that is dashed aligned. Now, if you don't know what a dash aligned means, look at address and contact details. Do you see there that, let me just quickly see here, this one here, this. If you look on yours, it has a little line that looks like this. Do you see that? That means you shouldn't do the underline, okay? Don't put on the underline, just make it as asked. So if you look at your question paper, they are asking you there that it must be italics. So you're going to go to the italic button. You're going to press the italic button after you've selected it. And they are saying that you need to apply any outer shadow text effect. Okay, so where's your text effects? It's over here. It's different from word art. Remember, word art is insert, word art. Different. This is home, text effect. They are asking for an outer shadow. So you're going to go to shadow. If they ask for a reflection or a glow, this is where you're going to go. But now they're asking for a shadow. They're asking for an outer shadow. Can you see there's also an inner shadow? They are not specifying a specific one, so you can just say whatever one you feel like you want to use. Okay. Now they are asking you to take that and change all the others. Now for me, what works well is, if you now have selected it to be italics, etc., then go to the format painter, click on the format painter, and then go click and select all the other stuff, because it's going to save you a lot of time. Does that make sense? So you're going to change one. Make sure you clicked on the one that you want. Click on that little format painter. It's found under home. And then you go to all the stuff that they ask. There's three. There's address, education, and personal. Okay. I'm just not sure why yours is centered and these are not, but I think that's the way you got it from the beginning. So it's fine. We leave it like that. Insert horizontal lines from the left-right margins as indicated, the border or horizontal line option. Okay, they actually give you a clue there on how to do it, but you should know how to do it. So if you go to the first one there by Curriculum Vitae, they want it there. Okay, we'll fix the line spacing now. How do we do that? It's the same thing they've asked in the footer, if you remember correctly. You go there and you say horizontal line. Can you remember that? Now, just ensure that your spacing is still correct. There must be a space at the top and at the bottom. Do you see that? There's one at the top and there's one at the bottom. Then there must also be one over here. So you're going to go and say insert at the top of that. It's not difficult. You must just keep your head above water, horizontal line. Make sure all your spaces is correctly put in at the bottom and at the top. And then the last one was above personal information. So you're going to go into horizontal line and you're going to make sure that your spacing is also correct. There must be one below qualification and at the top of personal information. Okay, I think that's the last line. All right, let's quickly make sure that we've done everything on the instructions. Then we're going to go dive into the page 13. All right, the last one is saying that you need to save the document on an A4 portrait. Okay, but we're not going to do that. Please just be mindful of that last sentence. It says that you need to place the printouts. Okay, it sounds a little bit different from what you may be used to. You are going to see when you start writing the exams on Monday, you're going to get a cover page. I think it's normally yellow. It can be green. Sometimes it's pink. Ne? So it's basically, it looks like this. It looks like 2 A4 pages that is together like this. You're going to put everything in there. Okay? Tomorrow morning or afternoon, you're going to have a meeting with either of your lecturers who's going to show you how to fill in the cover page. Okay, don't worry, we will guide you through it. But you will see you also don't staple it. It's going to be like a booklet. It's going to be put in there. You're going to close the booklet. Don't put your printout outside of the booklet. That doesn't make sense. Okay, it needs to go inside. All right, darling. So that is that. Let's go into the actual one on page 13 as well. Okay, remember there's always two things you need to focus on. That's why you need your highlighter or your pen. Okay, so the first one there says that you need to center, bold, double underline 14, and it must be on a new line. Okay, that's why I already did it. Let's quickly talk about a new line. That new line means you need to press enter here in front of F, of off, like this. They want it on a new line. A new line is always enter. You agree with me? Okay. Then you're going to select everything. You're going to make it bold. You're going to make it center. You are going to underline it. Double underline it. That's double underline. And you're going to make it 14. Okay. I'm sure all of you could have done that. Then address and contact details. They are asking you that it must be in full. So the and, do you see that and? It's quite weirdly stated, but the symbol and must be typed out in full. So you must say and like that. Are you with me? All right. Then insert symbols, a +1 letter space, wingdings, 14 and 48. Okay. So they want the cell number here. They want in front of the cell, there must be a space. In front of the space, there must be insert symbol. Okay. You're going to go to more symbols and then you are going to choose the wingdings. A lot like you would have done with the, exactly the same actually what you've done with the bullets. It's the same thing. It's just at a different place. The bullets was bullets, create a new bullet. Now it's insert symbol. Then you're going to choose wingdings. Wingdings. And you are going to go to wingdings 40. Character code 40. Now they give you a 40 or a 58. Let's just see what's the 58. The 58 is the computer. So you must first do the 40 and say insert. And then you must go there and you can insert. But now you will see it's on the wrong place. So you must just cut it. Right click. If you don't want it to do it like that, you must go into the new line again and then do the same thing. So if you didn't want to do it like that, you must go. Let's quickly see what we would have done. Insert, symbol, more symbols, wingdings, and then we would have said 50. Was it 50? 48. Well, 58. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, 58. and then say insert and close. Okay, and then there must be a space between that. That is what they're asking there, plus one letter space. A letter space means there must be a space bar in between. Okay, so Soweto must be uppercase, but can you see it's the whole word? That's why they didn't want you to change the spelling earlier on. Are we going to retype that whole thing? No. We are going to go to home and say uppercase. Okay, you still remember that? All right, then let's go to the next one. Can you see I'm doing it line for line? Then there was supposed to be a horizontal line where what there is. Then there's supposed to be a line. Can you see there's also an extra line there that I need to insert? I haven't inserted that, so make sure yours is there. Okay, then we've got the latest institution attended. Okay, it looks like there now, there's tab stops. Okay, it says you move the text in new lines, sort ascending alphabetically, hint the subject pause must remain in line with the hotel reception. Okay, then they give you there, yo, very small. Can you see what they're saying there? Reception. Okay. Doesn't look like they are giving you tab stops, which is quite weird. But if they're not giving you a tab stop, you can actually use your tab one time. Okay. But it's really weird for me that they're not giving it to you. So I'm going to show you tab stops rather. Let's make it at around, I'll say 10 centimeters. Okay, how do we do tab stops? We're going to go to paragraph. We're going to go say tab stops. We're going to say we want it at 10. We leave the default tab stop and we say set. We ensure that it's set there in that little space given and we say okay. All right. Now we are going to say that is that. And then we can type in JHB TVET College. Okay, now I want to show you something. Because you didn't select that whole thing, can you see now here, my tab stop is there. The moment I put my mouse there, my tab stop has disappeared. So what is very important, if you see you're going to use tab stops for all of those things over there, rather put in your paragraph tab stops while it is selected, set. So that when you click anywhere else, your tab stop is there. It will not automatically must now move all of your text to 10 centimeter only if you actually go and tab it. Then it will do that. Okay, so that's 2021. Now let's see what's happening here. They are wanting the subject pause. They want hotel reception in full. There. Okay. So first of all, what I would have done is I would have put in the subjects like this. Okay, I would just put in everything in new lines. This was quite a weird way of asking it, but let's do it like this. So you'll put in the new lines with an enter. And then they are asking you to put in, they want all of this in alphabetical order. So you're going to select it. Okay. You're going to go to that little A to Z and you are going to say sort by. You'd want the paragraphs, yeah, because it's paragraphs, although it's just one. It's according to the text and it's ascending because they want it in A to Z. So you're going to say, okay, can you see now it's done? Okay, but now you need to take that one up, press that once, and then it looks like they want all of this. You see what's bothering me about this one? They obviously want this to be on a tab differently from that. So I would have put in a tab stop here by 2 centimeters, but they don't specify. So yeah, it's really weird that they haven't done it, but that is what they want. Because if you put on that, you'll see that there was a tab stop there. Okay. But anyway, that was a bit of a difficult one. So then there must be a space again. And then national diploma must also go into a tab stop. Okay, let's go to the next one. Then the surname must go into the tab stuff of Dlamini. Okay, then you go to first name and you'll have to put in there Andile, and you would have done all the stuff because it says they key in as given. Now, the candidate must delete all, insert a colon after each word where indicated in the text, okay? And then transpose the headings, education, qualifications, and personal information with the information text below the heading. Goodness gracious. What does it say? Education, qualifications, and personal information must be transposed with the information. Okay, so they basically, okay, after you have done this, they say you must delete all the columns and insert a colon after each word, but it looks like it's already done there. Like, yeah, they want it like this. They want you to put in a colon, enter. Oh no, like this. Then they wanted you to delete the comma, press a colon. You know what a colon is, ne? It's when you press shift next to L. Next to L. So you have to take that, put in a colon, press tab. And then you also see the marital status is single. But what bothers me is on your thing, it says it must be all. This is already typed for you, but it looks like they want it in all caps, in small caps. Oh, they want it sentence case. Okay. So select that, go to the style and say sentence case. Which is weird because why is it not making it sentence case? Capitalize each word. Okay. They say sentence case, so make it sentence case, but I think there's a mistake on it. It should actually be capitalized each word because if you look at your memo, it actually doesn't. That's not sentence case. But anyway. Okay, it looks like there's a mistake. All right, darlings. Then what they want, you all know what transpose means. They want you to take all of this, right click, cut, and paste it here. And then they wanted you to take all of this, right click, cut, and pasted it there in between. Okay. It's not difficult. You must just work with it step by step. Okay. It was not a very nice question. Let's go to 7.1. Now, please, darlings, you need to now file save this. Do you understand that? You have to save that question, okay? Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's going to, maybe you need to retrieve that again like we have done in the internal exam. Remember with Excel, some of you didn't print question 1, the 1A. You only printed B. So always save it. Okay, let's open up soccer. Save the file as Q7. First, you need to enable your editing. You say File, Save As, Browse. Make sure you save it in the exam and save it correctly as Q7 Soccer and say Save. Okay, let's carry on. Apply the following changes and also those indicated on the next page. Make all changes according to the proofreading signs. Again, just like we've done in question 6. As a header, key in the question number. Okay, so again, this is a revision for you now. Double click on the left-hand side. They want the question number 7. And in brackets, you must put in C1. And then you go to the right-hand side and you put in your ID. Okay, press escape. Now, change the orientation of the document to landscape. Where do we do that? You go to layout, you say orientation, landscape. Okay, then you are applying the following changes and also those indicated on the next page. Make all the changes according. Okay, we've already read that. Change the orientation, we've done it 7.6. Change the font of the entire document. Again, if they don't specify you must also do the headings. A lot of you are losing your marks there. So start with the heading. Double click, Control A. Home. What is it? Courier new. Okay, you can type in the courier so you don't have to scroll down till Christmas. And it must be 9. Okay, now remember what happened with your header in the test. Do you remember we had this as well? You had the portrait and you turned it around from portrait to landscape. Is that ID still in the right alignment? No, it is not. So you must push it over now until it is. Remember, it went from portrait into landscape. Do you remember that? So please go back into your header. You're going to lose that mark if you're not rectifying that. Escape, we're still busy with Control A. We're still busy with Courier New and 9 points. Now we have to delete all the paragraphs presented in red. Okay, now please only select those that's in red and press enter. So you're going to select and press enter. Select and press enter. That part should also not be there. Make sure everything that is red is not there anymore. Remove the line numbering from the document and insert bullet as indicated on the next page. Okay. Now, a lot of you actually struggled with lines numbering. So I'm going to show that for you somewhere now. We've already done this a couple of times. How do I get line numberings out of the picture? I click wherever it is on the document. Now it's on the whole document, so it doesn't really matter where I click. Then I'll have to go to layout, line numbers, and then you go to line number options. Then you go to line numbers, and then you say you want to take it off. So you take that tick off, and you say okay, and you say okay, and it's going to go off. Okay, that's the only way how you can do it. Let's say like in the exam, they want the second paragraph, let's say from there to there, they want the line numbering to start at 5 and end at whatever, but it must only be on this paragraph that you see in yellow. Now, let me just revise this with you. By the way, this is not a line number. This is a paragraph number. Do you see the difference? Okay, please, that's not how we put in. It doesn't even look the same. Okay, so now remember, this will hopefully come back to you. How do you start off with line numbering? You need to go, first of all, and insert a break. It's not a column. It's not a page break. It's a continuous break. Do you remember that? Then you need to also put in one at the end of that. Otherwise, it's going to overflow. It's not going to end there. So you're going to go there and say continuous, breaks, continuous. Now you can just make sure you take that one out. And now your mouse needs to be on here where the yellow part is. Because if your mouse is over here by Bayana, the line numbers is going to be on that part of the document, which is not correct. So click somewhere in the yellow, go to line numbers, say line number options, say line numbers, say add, say start at 5. I'm just saying this as is. It's not in the question paper. I'm just telling you because you struggled with it. And say okay, and say okay, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, are you with me? That should actually not be in there. So you should have actually put in it there, but it's fine. Okay. Let's carry on to the next one. It says that you need to insert the columns as indicated on the next page. Now, please, this is the place where you get lost because you're not going to page over to the other page and you are going to forget about 7.10. So tick off what you've done and don't tick off if you have not done it. Okay, so let's quickly look at that. It's very similar actually. If you go back into your practical, you will remember you also had a similar one. They are asking you to put in create 3 column lines between the columns. Okay, so where does it start? Let me just quickly take off all of this so that it's not confusing to you. All of this must go into a column. So it's basically the whole document. So the first thing you need to do is you need to ensure that you select the paragraph that needs to go into the column. That's the first step. Okay, so we have done that. Now we are going to go to layout and we're going to go to columns and we're going to choose more columns because there's more editing settings here. Right. Then we have to create a equal columns. I'm going to explain that to you now with a line in between. Okay, so it's going to be 3 columns. Now let's say they're asking for column 1 to be a specific thing. You need to actually click that. Okay, you need to say, listen, I want this one to be whatever. They're not asking it to you, but let's say they do. Can you see you actually need to take off the equal column width to get access to the others? Can you see that? So when that is clicked, you can't get access to the second and the third one. Remember with the table, they also want to ask you to change the left column of the table to a certain amount. We must revise that. So if they do ask you that, please ensure you take off the equal column width so that you can have access to the other 3. Otherwise, you won't be able to change the size. You understand what I'm saying? Look there. That's what I'm talking about. But currently, we're going to leave it at 8.5 and it's going to be equal. Right. Now, they also want you to have a line in between. So you're going to click the line in between. You can come in, sir. It's fine. Okay. Myne is dis reg. Myne lê by hom, né? Die boksies, het jy my boksies gekry? Okay. Dis reg. Dankie meneer. Okay, then you're going to say there's a line in between and you're going to say okay. Now by now you should know it's going to give you 2 columns although you've asked for 3, and that's where the cutting tool come in. It's scary. Mr. Muzikizi, what is the scary we're using here? A column break. So you can see there the history of SA Soccer must go into the next one. So we're going to go to break, column break. Still not right. Now we need to get the national and local one also in the next line. So we're going to go to break, column break. Can you see if I draw a line right here at the top? Can you see everything is in a nice equal line? That is what they're talking about when they say parallel columns. They don't want it to be like this. Huh? The one line up and the other one down. So please make sure that that is happening when you are doing it. Okay, let's run through what we should do. Let's start here. They are asking for that heading to be uppercase. It must be bold. And it must be underline and it must be center. Now let's test our format painter for that. Remember, there's 2 other headings that also needs to look like that. So let's take our format painter and see they do everything except the uppercase. Can you see that? But that's a quick one to change. So even if you use that, you still just have to do that, which is still just a click of a button. So I would recommend you try that. Are you with me? Okay, let's carry on. They are asking you. Now you will see it's very small on there, but they do tell you there's a column break. Do you see that? Okay. Then they are asking you to insert the image saved as something, and the height must be 2 and the text wrapped in top. Okay, I need to show you that because a lot of you didn't get that. Top and bottom and move the position in text. Okay, so let's quickly first just insert. We can somehow insert it here. So let's just make a little bit of a space there for the picture. We'll go to insert picture, and it should open in that specific one because we are working from it, but it's not. So I think that's picture 1. Okay, now click on layout and make sure that you are choosing the correct layout here. Okay, now you can either, they say here that and move to position in text. Okay, so you need to make sure that you select the correct position. I always choose tight. You can also go to see more. Okay, now this is very important because if you don't do it like this, it's not going to give you the actual thing what it wants. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is make sure then your alignment here, I think they want it to be centered. Okay, relative to the column. Okay, it can act, yeah, it's fine. I just quickly want to see. You see, I've put in too many spaces there, so just take it out. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Let's say we're not going to put in the spaces now. Okay, I want to show you something. Let's just put our cursor there. We're not putting in any spaces. Ne? We're saying insert picture. That picture must be 2. I'm gonna do the sizing now. I think this is actually going to be better because now you can go into first make it tight. Always make it tight so that you can get the other access. Go to see more. They are asking you to text wrap top and bottom and move to position in text. Okay. So move object with text, that is clicked, and wrap to top and bottom. Okay, so that's actually a wrapping that you need to choose. Not through top. Here is the one they want. Can you see? Top and bottom. So now that's actually fine, but the only thing that's not fine is the size. The height must be 2 centimeters. So you need to go into size, and if it's only the height, you're not changing the log aspect ratio. But if it is both, you need to change it. I always just change it off. It's fine. Just always take it off. It's just a good habit. You remember that still? Take it off, change the height, say okay. Okay, but you can also see it needs to be in the center. Right. Now this actually, if we look at this should actually also be top to bottom. So we can now move it where it should be. I think this is a better way to do it. Let's just also change the height of this. Take off the log aspect ratio, change that to 2. You don't have to type in the centimeters and say, okay. Okay, it's better. It looks different on the memo, but is it still 2? Yeah, it is fine like that. All right, let's do the last one. So click anywhere in the column, go to insert, say pictures, choose the number 3. Let's first change the layout. I want it that one, bottom with text, and let's move it into the team. Okay, and then I want also the height to be now must be 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. So you go into size, you take off the log aspect ratio, put in 3, say okay, and it looks a little bit like this. And you can just move it in. Okay, are you all fine with that? Good. Okay, I'm going to pause here, then I'm going to go over into PowerPoint.